as we say hello from the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway here on iRacing here for the SAAC, the SAAC Season 6 Clash here. North Wilkesboro Speedway. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's Clash here. The virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. And something already off the bat you're going to see. Something a little bit different here. We go up here to our blimp cam here. We see trucks and cup cars out tonight here for tonight's Clash. Obviously, SAAC or SAAC partnered, I believe, with ZASCAR, and they have a combined truck series here for the truck series stuff, and obviously season 6 of the Cup Series underway here, coming sooner rather than later here. So you see now a little bit of an odd take here from North Wilkesboro. So you see now the virtual NASCAR Next Gen machines on board here with the virtual Craftsman Truck Series machines. Obviously, it's definitely a unique opportunity for all these drivers. Obviously, it's going to be really a unique race here for 120 laps here from the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. Just over 5 minutes left in practice, and definitely going to be very interesting to say the least of how this is going to be and how about here. Obviously, I'm interested to see how timing and scoring are going to work here tonight here from everything else. Obviously, we look further back. Obviously, the Cup guys on top. The top 16 spots belong to the Cup Series guys, and we look further back here. It's all the Craftsman Truck Series drivers here for the, I believe it's the ZAAC Cup Series. The ZAAC Truck Series, my apologies. See the 42, Wyatt Roberts around here. It'd be very interesting. See him come down pit road here. We'll take a look at some of your fastest drivers here coming in. Obviously, not going to be surprised to see a Cup car up at the front here. Is Connor Trafari top of the board here in practice. He was, a favorite to win the championship last season there in season 5. Obviously, fell behind in the chase with kind of the bracket chase format. Kind of a hybrid of the playoffs and the chase there, as he was in that final 6, just could not get it done last season. From Homestead, obviously we saw James Thurston at a number 82. Toyota Camry take home the championship here. I don't see Thurston on track, so to see if he's going to come back here and continue to race here in SAAC, or if he kind of a one and done here for Thurston. But right now, Connor Trafari, quickest driver on track here. We look back to Matthew O'Brien in that Legacy Motor Club machine. Fidel Fabian goes him in the 14, but we see him in a 55 machine. Before we get into qualifying, we might do a paints reset to make sure everybody's in the right car. So right now you see the machine. Just over 2 minutes left in practice. We'll welcome everybody in to the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway here for season 6 of the SAAC Cup Series and the I guess ZAAC Truck Series. I don't know. as we apologize for the fairly loss in connection here. Mike, we've been having issues with the microphone here on the network for the last couple of weeks here. I don't know why. But we'll see qualifying getting out of the way here. I believe warm-up underway here. No, starting grid here. Take a look here. Our starting lineup here for, I believe, 120 laps here from the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. Go ahead and do it. Starting lineup here, presented by HBTV, is going to be James Thurston in a number 96. Alongside Fidel Fabian, a really good qualifying effort for the 14. Connor Chafari, Cody Ramirez, Chris Downey round out your top 5. And you look at Matthew O'Brien, Amir Bascom, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Ollie Reeves, the Clan, George back there rounding out your top 10. Connor Zola, Brian Lorenzo, Austin Doran, Duncan Fogg, Gabe Cazola. Going to be the last of the next gens who have qualified, and then you look further back, 16th on back. We're going to be the start of the trucks. AJ Hyder, Bradley Zizweski, Quincy Strawhacker, Nicholas Budlimick, Matthew Miles rounds out your top 20. Look back to Ethan Marino, Wyatt Roberts, David Bachman, Jared Wilson round out the trucks who set a lap, I believe. You look back further back. This is where it's going to be interesting. Some next gen's going to be intermixed with these trucks. Justin Rott, Dimitri Mundros, Alexander Schumacher, Jason Dodonna, Logan Shore, and Dale Beck rounding out your 30-car field tonight. So once again, 120 laps here from the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. Take a look here. Our race weather. 71 degrees. With a track temperature of 73 degrees. 31% humidity, little to no wind, and clear skies here. The virtual North Wilkes Speedway. Get the lights off on the pace car. You see the lights off on the pace car. So it's going to be James Thurston. Fidel Fabian. Going to be the front row there, that Chevy Ford front row. Get a 96 uprise machine. Alongside the Casita Caliente machine. I'm sure I say that right. Casita Caliente machine. It's going to be the 55 of Fidel Fabian. Going to be the next gens. Leading us to green here. Across the stripe. Going to be back in green here for the Season 6 Clash. Across the stripe, it's going to be James Thurston. Across the board here. He's going to lead the next gens up here. And it's going to be AJ Hyder. As he leads the trucks down. AJ already with a sizable lead. Back to third on back there. You see a little bit of a battle further back. That's Strawhacker in the 49. Going to try to make some moves happen. Back up to the ejections, though. It's James Thurston. Connor Chafari. Here comes Chafari to the bottom. Chafari to the bottom. James Thurston going to use that top side. Try to play a little bit of defense. Connor once again in the bottom. Gonna try to not make any contact. Thurston should have a decent run off the corner here. Gonna try to hold on. Jafari all over the back bumper though. Forcing Thurston wide. 3-1 and 2. If they're not back, Amir in the 43 of Matthew O'Brien battling it out here. This is for P6. With the next gens here, P6 overall. It's gonna be interesting to continue to look at the battles throughout the field here. Connor Jafari, side by side for the race lead. Jafari really likes that bottom side. I think he's gonna do a little bit of a slide drop here. He's gonna clear Thurston. Here comes Thurston with the slide, with the crossover though. That's gonna be Thurston on the bottom. Side by side for the race lead. Give it to Jafari. I'm gonna go back and look at the trucks with the race for the lead. Really intense here. Jafari clears for the race lead for now. The battle dies down here. We'll go back to AJ Hyder. About a 1.5 gap back to the second place driver. That's Straw Hacker. The trucks have seemed to settle down a little bit. Versus the next gens who are all over each other. Either one of Lorenzo, Connor Zola back here battling for P12, P13. Further back here, the Wendy's machine. I believe that is the University of Albany, potentially. I thought that was maybe an LSU car, but obviously similar colors. They battle further back here. There's a 17 machine. The Clan George starting to fall back. No look. Here comes Gabe Cazzola. They can move to the outside. The one looking at the top side of the 17 as well. So the Clan not finding the handling he needs to in that 17 machine. He's starting to fall back. Clan down 4 spots from where he started. Clan needs to find a little bit of pace here in this Milwaukee 17. Obviously a long race to do with 120 laps here. Everybody seemed to keep it clean and green right now. The issue is yeah, when do we get to the lap traffic? We've already got it. And this is going to be the exciting part. Can these next gens get through the lap traffic, and who can do it the best? You see now, wow, this is just so interesting to see. Jafari underneath the 77 machine. Now looking at the 28. It's going to be hard to call out some of these guys here because they're in custom numbers but wrong numbers, so try our best to call out what we can here. Jafari starting to pull out a little bit of a gap here, getting through that lap traffic just a little bit better than the rest of the field. You have the board there, that is Demetrius. That's Moondro, so looks like I think we'll have everybody back here on track here sooner or later. Here we go. Thurston around the 49, a straw hacker. We apologize for the microphone cutting in and out here. I have to switch to a different microphone here sooner or later. And it's our, it's our USB interface that we use here for our Rode Pod mic here on the broadcast. Wanting to just turn itself off or not wanting to connect with at least OBS here or Windows. We have all the drivers set up and everything. It just keeps wanting to turn off here. But back up to your race leader, Jafari. 4.5 second gap. Back to Thurston. He's got a clear track in front here. You look on board. Got about a straightaway until he gets to the next gaggle of trucks. And he by far was the best driver to get through the pack here. You look at Thurston, 5 seconds back. I mean, he's got some guys running him down as well. Did a 55 of Fabian. Back there as well, trying to make something happen. And he's done a good job getting through the lap traffic as well. Back up to the race, to the trucks. Once again, kind of everybody kind of minding their own P's and Q's right now. Closest battle right here between these guys, the 42, Wyatt Roberts and Dimitri Mundros. Technically, Austin Doran back here making a pass for position. The Doran actually a lap down. So he's on the same lap as all these truck drivers. So technically, he is racing these trucks for position here, right? He's going to try to get around the 71 here in Marino as soon as he can. But obviously, already one lap down, going to be a big disadvantage here for these drivers, at least for the driver of the 52. We know Doran is really good at these short, flat tracks. We saw him really fast at Martinsville. Obviously, made a couple of mistakes. Kind of took himself out of a chance to race for the win there from Martinsville. We know this 52's got the pace here on these short tracks. Interesting to see how much he can adapt to the changing track, the changing situations here, right? I mean, it takes for Connor, it takes 2 trucks running side by side to slow him up. Obviously, 5 seconds is going to be a lot of time he'd have to leverage or hemorrhage. And a lot of these drivers are just kind of letting these, faster next-gen drivers through. So I wouldn't imagine that would happen too often. But still, you have to think, how much time is Jafari willing to give up here, sitting behind these trucks that might potentially start the battle for a position. You can't obviously move them out of the way, regardless if they're slower or not. Battle further up, actually. Robertson Marina and Mundros actually down it out here for P4 in the trucks. Here comes the 9. Overall race leader here. Far to the bottom. He clears both of them in one corner. He'll allow these two to continue the battle on. The 29 looking at the bottom here in the 3 and 4. Marino will make the pass work. Mundros will make the pass work. Mundros has to go run down the 71 of Marino. Next truck up the line here. Wow, just exciting to see. The 29 really loose. That's going to allow the 42 to get back to the tailgate, the 29 machine. Already 37 complete here. Something to also talk about is the fuel mileage here for these trucks, these next gens. Because you imagine they can't be the same. I don't really know what fuel mileage will look like here. I imagine the Cup car They're probably close to being able to make it here without having to stop. I don't know about the trucks. If it's 100% fuel, I think the Cup car should be able to pretty easily make it here and at North Wilkesboro, or at least, you know, be good enough to make it without green white checkers. I know, like at a track like Martinsville, at least you can go around, I believe, like 130 laps, I believe. You know, when I've ran NIS in the past. So, but when can everybody make it here on fuel? It's gonna be a big deciding factor. There's him back here in the 96. It will show then 11 on your scoring pylon to the left here. See him trying to get around now the 29 and the 42 that we saw this Safari around some time ago. Caution. We might have had a crash here. This was a scheduled caution at all. Looks like we might have had a crash. A blink out here on the replay. But regardless, caution out. Good flat, and we got pit stops underway. We'll take you guys down the pit road. Everybody coming out of pit road. They're sitting Jafari and all these drivers coming in. They can probably do one and only pit stop if we continue to stay green. So, Jafari usually wins the race off pit road here. Thurston's still in his box. It looks like the 44 of AJ Hyder wins the race off pit road for the Truck Series drivers. Actually gets around Thurston. This is going to be an interesting part for me is how do they line these drivers up here? I believe it should probably just be next gens and then trucks once again. You don't see this a lot. I don't think we've ever kind of seen this on the sim, right? With a next gen, I mean, with a multi-class kind of start, right? You look at IMSA and stuff in the service, they don't have full course cautions in IMSA or anything else, right? If you wreck, it's just kind of your responsibility to get around the drivers here. So obviously, you know, they do have full course cautions in real life because of just safety reasons and stuff, but obviously on the sim, they don't have full course cautions, you know, in the IMSA series and, you know, the endurance races and stuff like that. So I'm going to kind of try to call it by ear of, you know, drivers who are potentially going to get the wave here or do whatever they need to. Donna. Right in front of, I believe, Trafari here. I believe all these drivers in front of Trafari should get the wave here, so they'll try to get around the pace car here. Maybe. Anu Zola, though, did not come down pit road. So he should be the race leader, which means everybody further back is going to have to, you know, find their way to the back here. Like the 30 machine here of Miles here. To get the one to go, he's going to have to go to the back. Because these two next-gen drivers decide to stay out. Which shows me that they can probably make it on fuel, as they are going to wave these drivers around. Okay. Remember, this is a clash at the end of the day. It's for fun and all that. So I think they're going to wave these truck drivers around. Safari retakes the race lead. well as Thurston. So it looks like they're going to put Lola and George to the back here, I believe. Very confused. Regardless, lights are off on the pace car. It's going to be, you know, the who have been 1-2 the whole race here. It's going to be Chafari. Going to be James Thurston leading us back to green here, going to lap 49. Lights are back on the pace car. I think we're just trying to get everything sorted out in the background, trying to get everybody lined up the way they need to be. I like this, that the trucks are holding back here. Just kind of like a multi-class race. They're not right up on top of the next gens. They'll kind of have their own start of the race. I really like that. I think that's really good that the admins kind of put that in place. Because having, you know, the trucks right up there, and if the next gens would have a huge breakout here, is we're green. My apologies. So AJ Hyder across the line here. He'll bring the trucks back. Momentary pause in action here. Caution back out. So bring everybody back to a slow here. Second caution of the night for incident. One driver out early, Jared Wilson in the 32. 49 laps down. We got quite a few. So when we look back to, I would say actually legitimate laps down here, I would say that's the 30 or the 33 or the 3 of Dale Beck. Some damage on his truck. But everybody else keeping that truck clean and green here as we'll get back to the green flag here. Safari back to the power, back to the stripe crew, back green here to start lap 56. Hyder back to the restart. Like they brought everybody back to single file like we're used to seeing here in SAACs. And I wish we had our multi-class like IMSA style ticker, but unfortunately we do not have that up and working the right way. Hopefully our SKS graphics team in the background can, you know, maybe put that into a note here further down the line here. Obviously not a priorities. We're doing the best we can here to make things work the way we can here. So Duncan Faw might have had a spin or a slowdown or something, as I hear something around here. That is the 43 machine and Matthew O'Brien. So Matthew O'Brien goes around here on that 58. Caution back out here North Wilkesboro. Take a look and see what happened here to the 43. This is coming into turn 3 and 4. Oh, looks like the 61. I didn't had a mistake there, and then up into the 32. Around that 43 will go here. Down into the grass, grabs not the cone, somehow avoids the cone there. Caution will wave. Say hello to everybody in the live chat, Jeff. Life Opstead. We get the caution one more time here from North Wilkesboro. See some trucks getting their laps back. We should get the white one to go here this time by, as we eclipse the halfway point in tonight's race. Season 6 SAAC Clash here with the Cup and Truck Series. Let's get a really cool idea, and I'm glad that they had me on the dial up here to call me up here to call this race, because this is so cool to see, and the way they have it organized. I mean, they're treating it kind of like a multi-class race, because it is, right? So back across the stripe here. Hand it back over to Connor Trafari. Back into the restart zone. Connor Trafari pedaled in metal, back green. Back to the start. AJ Hyder back to the green. Seeing almost 2-3 wide here going into turn 2 for the trucks. Back in the battle in action here. Fidel slowly started to run back down this 96. Fidel using that top side, using that momentum to get off the corner here, trying to get back to the 96 of James Thurston. And I'm starting to remember why I think I know why James is in that 96. Remember, he drove for Precision, his own team. He raced for himself last year, won the championship, but had mentioned, you know, in his post-race interview after winning his first championship here with SAAC, that he'd be moving to Uprise Motorsports, right? Obviously, I believe probably switching manufacturers, switching car number, all the logistics that come with switching teams. So that's probably why we're seeing Thurston in a different car number, right? Obviously it says the 11 on the pylon here, but it's caution. I don't see anybody slow. And Logan Short, maybe? We'll have to see. Trying to take a guess here. And it is a 95 at Logan Shore around. Loose out of 2. A lucky guess by me, and I try to pin that out. On a needle in the haystack there. And they didn't show anybody around, so. Caution late once again. I'm really surprised to see the cautions as frequent as they are right now. We're just over halfway, right? You assume that this is where you'd see the calm before the storm, right? In the last, maybe quarter of the race. I know this last couple of times, I don't know, maybe the track's changing. I don't know, maybe those new tires don't like the, the rubber that's been laid down on the track or something. Seen caution after caution. These last, what? 15, 20 laps. It's exactly what Javari wants to see. It's exactly what AJ Hyder wants to see. Everybody is 2x2 here. We still see the lights up on the pace car. Truck's getting forward back up here. AJ Hyder, Quincy, Strawhacker. These two have been kind of the consistent front two for the whole race here. Kind of been the same story here with the next gens. Then Chafari and Thurston, the front two. Fidel, I feel like has been a solid third place car throughout the whole run. This race tonight here for the Clash, but been kind of a 2-car tango for both series up to this point. Pace car off one more time. Once again, going to be Trafari on the bottom. James Thurston up the top side and back green. Another good restart by the 9 of Trafari. He gets clear early here through the front stretch. Across the stripe here comes Hyder. Across the stripe. He gets clear very early here as he restarts the truck race. Battling here for P2 for the trucks. In the 71 of Marino trying to take away P2 from Strawhacker. Well, we've seen how dominant this top side has been when it comes to defending the positions here. We'll see Strawhacker in that 49 up the track. Being defensive to keep that P2 spot away. And he does keep the P2 spot away for now. Wyatt Roberts all over the back end of this 71 here trying to make something happen. Looking inside here, out of 4. Anyone's gonna have to run off the top though. How hard is this 42 gonna push to try to get this spot away? Take over P3 from the 71. I think he's gonna have to just get back in line here and try again. Back up to the race, the overall race for the lead. Once again, it's been Trafari using that bottom line all race long to just continue to pull away from the rest of the field here. Been doing a good job. You see further back here. Austin Bowland further back outside the top 10. As oh, you see, look at that Zola in the 13 up in an outside wall. Gonna lose a couple spots there. Smacking an outside wall right there. You have to recuperate here and get back going. Fouls up further up the road here. Here comes the 27. Chris Downey. Talked about Austin Doran with the day he's had. And you look at Amir Bascom here. Very quiet night for the 21, but you see right here, he started 7th, up to 4th here, running down to 55 of Fidel Fabian. You already see the lap traffic up front there. So you see some trucks up at the outside wall, trying to give room. And you see when they get to these lap trucks, it just kind of stacks everybody back up. Allows everybody to kind of get pressed back together here. You now see the 21 all over the back end of Fidel Fabian and the 55. Casita Caliente machine trying to hold on to P3. Go ahead and call that number. Support that small business there that Fidel continues to support here on the simulator. Here comes Amir. Slowly reeling in this 55. No one has been able to touch that 9 of Jafari. Still over half a second of an advantage here. You know, you might think half a second isn't that much, but here at a short track, it's quite a bit here. You see Fidel up the track here, trying to defend here to keep this P3 position. The 21 doing a good job wrapping the bottom. You still see them side by side. Here comes the mirror to the bottom side here in the 3 and 4. Trying to take P3 away. And have to do it quick because he's got some lap traffic up ahead here. I don't think Fidel was too happy with the way that the whole interaction happened, but that's just kind of multi-class racing here. Sometimes you have to put some people in a bad spot to make the pass, especially when you have these slower cars around you. Amir up to P3. And around the 42 there, Wyatt Roberts there in that Chevy Silverado. And it's just it's so interesting to see this because it looks like when they catch the trucks, it compresses the next gens, but it kind of spreads out the trucks here. The middle 3 for the 21. Wow. Make that a screensaver right there. Here a mirror. Middle 3 with 2 trucks on your inside and outside. He zooms through here in P3. Hollow and swing here though for P2. Mundros got around Strawhacker for P2. Now 29 trying to drive away from that 49. I love the strategy of this 29 when it comes to letting these next gens through, right? When the next gen comes up to him, you see he'll get out of the way. You'll use the top side, let those next gens pass on the bottom. As soon as he's, oh, you see some contact further back. I think I saw someone get put up in the outside wall here. Yeah, the one gets loose, grabs the 71 of Marino. Up at the outside wall he goes. Tough break for the 71. One will just carry on his way. Do that a lot too in the multi-class, right? The faster cars kind of bullying our slower cars around here, just trying to get around them, but with a cookie crumble sometimes. Further back here and battling in the next gen class. Gumi trying to hold on. Comes the 61 of the Clan George. That's actually the 61 of Donkin Fa, a lap car. Trying to get around the 68 there. Not going to make it work here in the turn 1 and 2. Connections have been pretty good about the cautions today. I believe every caution has been caused by one of the trucks. It isn't surprising because these trucks just seem a little bit harder to handle than these next gens. These next gens just seem well planted to the track compared to the trucks there. Obviously a lot more downforce in these next gens than the trucks have. The battle for the race lead here. AJ Hyder has been ran down by the 29 of Mundros. Hyder's got the older tires. Back here live. So it looks like the 17 gone around the 44 Hyder. And now, once again, another next gen. Anything with the battle for the race lead here. Nothing that they're doing wrong, but. Ooh, the 44 loose. Comes the 29 of Mundros at the bottom. Race for the lead here in the trucks. Here comes the overall race leader. Here comes Trafari underneath here. Overall race winner trying to get around the battle for the trucks race lead here with 10 to go. Caution! Oh man. Like another truck around to 30. Matthew Miles around. That brings everybody back together here. Take a look and see what happened to Miles. Got loose, trying to let the, looks like Bascombe go. 77 comes in there, nowhere for him to go. Caution will wave. So if you're someone towards the back here in these next chance, right? I feel like you're coming down Pay Road. If you're, yeah, we see a lot of drivers actually coming down Pay Road here. We see the overall race leader down Pay Road. Jafari out of pits. There's a lot of drivers who stayed out here. You look back here in the trucks as well. These are drivers. Some of these trucks stayed out as well. So this is kind of flipping the strategy for a lot of these guys. Look further back, AJ Hyder. He came down pit side. Jaw Hacker down pit road. As we cycle out, it looks like Sisweski. Oh man, he's got a lot of damage though. I don't know if they're gonna let him lead the trucks with that much damage. We'll have to see. At Rally House. Truck. We have to let him out, but Fidel Fabian, he stays out. Gonna take the gamble here with the 5-lap shootout, it looks like. So this is going to be interesting now. So two of your, I mean, the guy who's led, I'm pretty sure every lap of this race, outside of maybe the first, because I'm pretty sure Thurston got the pole here, got this lap sled here. Look at this. Practically every lap. We'll say that. I'm going to start back here at P7 with a 5-lap shootout here in the SAAC Splash here for Season 6. It's going to be Fidel Fabian. Austin Doran going to be your front row here for the most likely final restart. And then we look back here. Bradley Ziswiski. Dimitri Mundros. Going to be the front row here for the trucks. And then that's why they delayed the caution here. So it's going to be a 4-lap shootout. They're trying to get the trucks caught back up here. And we get them back, you know, double file here for the restart. We should get the white flag here. The one to go here, my apologies. We will. There'll be a 3-lap dash here from North Wilkesboro. To crown a class champion in these two classes. For the SAAC Cup Series and the SAAC Truck Series. They make that merger with Zascar. Their first collaboration season here in the Truck Series. That's Fidel Fabian in the old tires, 74 and 73 lap old tires for Austin. And Fidel, as they get back into restart zone with the 3-lap dash, as we get ready to go green here from North Wilkesboro. Back across the stripe, it's going to be Dimitri Mundros. He starts the Truck Series race here for the trucks. Fidel Fabian. Out of 4, caution. David Beckham. David Bachman. 8 around. On the restart here. He did not go. That really hurt AJ Hyder's chance to win this race. 8 up into the 44. And there's 4 wide here out of 2. And he just hooks the 30 up the track. Man. just 4 wide at a short track. Usually doesn't work. You saw it right there. 8 up into the 30, 30 back up the track. Grabbing another couple of guys there. The caution will wave here. Now my question is, how many green white checkers do we have for the clash? Well, we'll go into NASCAR overtime here in the SAAC Clash here for Season 6 as we welcome everybody in here to the final couple of laps here from North Wilkesboro. Hello, my name is Christian Elgato, your lead producer and commentator tonight's race here for the Clash here. Obviously a multi-class race, very exciting, very fun idea here for the SAAC guys to bring, you know, both series on the same track here for one night here to start their seasons. Just seeing, you know, the multi-class division being basically dominated by James Thurston, Connor Trifari. This late race caution is stacked up with the pit strategy here. Now you see Fidel Fabian up towards the front. We look further back here. Because really it's been, in my opinion, it was Strawhacker and AJ Hyder who's second and third who have dominated most of this race. But it's been Dimitri Mutros who have just crawled up here to the front of the pack there. Remember, had newer tires before we got that caution and drove himself up inside of the, you know, top two. And obviously has the race lead here going in this green white checkered situation here. Looks like everybody further back there except for Wesky came out here. There, those trucks, so it's gonna be even tire work for the truck series drivers. But up here for the next gens, going to be really the front three with the older tires here as we get ready to go back in for overtime here from North Wilkesboro. As the 52 around and wrecking in the next gens. And it's the big one here further up there as the trucks need to slow it down. Because that is the whole field here. Asta Doran around on the restart zone. Flex basically the whole glass field with him. Doran in the 52. Remember the older tires for Doran. Back in the restart zone, spins the tires. And it looks like Thurston and Tony Wanabascom, some of the only drivers to get through this wreck. I believe they were the only drivers to get out of there scot-free. Oh, you see the 49 is Strawhacker in the back of someone there. A little bit of oh wow, and quite a bit of left front damage to Strawhacker there. Being a little impatient trying to get through the wreck. That might be make or break there. Of who gets through and who doesn't. Now something I want to talk about now. James Thurston coming to this next green white checkered. He's got the fresh tires. He's gonna be on the front row. And he was by far the second best car tonight here. In this next gen class. No one was really touching a 9 until he gave up that race lead. So now if you're Fidel, can you get a good enough restart to hold on here? I'm unsure of how many green white checkers are allowed here in this clash. I don't know if there's unlimited. I don't know if there's 3. I believe there was 3 to start off with. Everybody stacked up 2x2 once again. Waiting on the wood to see how many green white checkers we have tonight. But Straw Hacker is going to keep the lead here, it looks like. Obviously, you can't pit this late in the race, but anything can happen. So Straw Hacker is going to stay out there with that left front damage, but Mundros looks like he's got a good opportunity to potentially get a clash win there in the Truck Series class. So pace car off. Restart attempt number 2 here. It'll be once again Fidel Fabian. Casita Caliente back to the point. And a decent jump by the 55, but I don't think that's going to be enough to hold off James Thurston. Here comes Thurston to the top side. Straw Hacker across the stripe here with the damage. Gosh it again. I think Amir Bascom around here. And once again wrecking into next gens. Amir going backwards here on the track. I think he's going the wrong way, some people would say. Take a look here at the restart here. Back to the restart zone. Going into 1 and 2. This is where this all started. Oh man. Fidel just got ran over by Connor Trifari. I mean, Fidel did have the older tires, but Connor just being a little bit too impatient to get in the back of the 55 and takes the rest of the field with him. Granted, Connor gets up to P2, so I mean, I guess it could be worth it. He gets that track position back. We talked about the trucks being the culprit of the cautions tonight. These last 3 have been in the next gen, so obviously it's time to go. And I don't expect anything else to happen here. Short track racing here late in the race. Something I want to look at here is Shumi in the 68. He's worked his way up to the field here. Look at that. Started back there 27th, up to P3 here. It looks like he, except for Thurston, he's probably got the cleanest car. Add these guys around. Duncan Faw, he was a lap down to the next gen class, like in his own class. For a big portion of this race, he's up here in the P4. A good recovery for these 2 drivers that are going to line up in the second row here. But they're back to the truck class one more time. Straw Hacker, Zweski, and Moondros jump back to P3. Actually, it looks like Moondros will pick the top line here. He'll jump up the second here with the choose cone. Do some next gens trying to wave around here and around the truck class. The 43 and the 13 of Connor Zola and Matthew O'Brien. Lights are off once again on the pace car, and just like that, the 2 front runners have cycled their way back up to the front this time, but it's going to be Thurston leading us back to green instead of Trifari. Trifari, lots of damage on the front end, lots of damage all around that car. This is the clean, relatively clean 96, that uprise Chevy Camaro. This should be our last, if it is 3 overtime attempt, this will be our last attempt at a green-white checkered. But this time, going to be the 96. Thurston, back to the jump. Back green here from North Wilkesboro. Shumi, the big aggressive jump there on the bottom. Moondros up to the top side. Going to try to take the race lead around and wrecking in the back here in the trucks. There's Wesky around. And caution will wave. Looks like Thurston kept the race lead in the next gens. And I think that's it. I think it was a 3 and done. I don't see the lap counter going up here. You see the checkered flag waving. James Thurston holds on. He's going to get the clash win here in the next gen class. And Dimitri Mundros, that 29 machine, sneaks around the top side. He's going to get the win here in the trucks. Thurston sat on the pole. Thurston will jump around here. Probably do some burnouts here in front of you race fans at home. But congratulations to Thurston. Congratulations to Mundros. 2 class winners here in your season 6 and in the season 6 class year. James Thurston here. Only 12 laps led tonight. We'll show the 11. Obviously, you see that 96 uprise machine. Obviously, Thurston jumped in the wrong car number before he jumped in the session. Remember, this is all under a hosted session. Just because it was multi-class. I don't even know if you could set up multi-class in a league session. I'm not sure if you can. But Thurston gets it done here from North Wilkesboro. Take a look at your unofficial race results. Thurston, Shafari Shrumi gets a top 3. Look at Austin Doran. He had a spin there. Spun the tires, caused that big stack up there. Then during those green-white checker situations, Duncan Fall at top 5 finish. You see Ryan Lorenzo, LeClain George, Gabe Gazzola, Emil Bascom, Ollie Reeves, your top 10. Further back here, Ramirez, Fabian, Connor Zola, Matthew O'Brien, rounding out your next gen. Look back here. Starting out here with the trucks, Dimitri Mundros gets your truck series victory here from North Wilkesboro. Alongside here, rest of the field here, Wyatt Roberts rounding out your top 20. Further back here, drivers out early. Look at AJ Hyder. Dominated the truck portion of tonight's race. Not going to get it done. Brian Zazweski, Dale Beck, Matthew Miles, and Thomas Bud Limick back there. 25th, and you see everybody else out here early. Chris Downey, Jurgensmeyer, Marino, Jared Wilson, Justin Rott. Now we'll round out your field tonight here from North Wilkesboro. As we'll see if we could talk to James Thurston up here. If we can grab him. James Thurston is Christian up here in HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, congratulations. Obviously, coming off a championship last year, coming into the clash there, new team, new ride for that number 96 machine. You come home here a clash winner. What's the feeling? Obviously, with the unique race here to start off season 6.
I mean, honestly, I'm really happy to win the race, but Connor was definitely the fastest out there today. I kind of just got in here because I took 2 tires, got ahead of him, and then I wouldn't even really say lucked my way to the front. I kind of made good moves to get to the front. It was just a lot of chaos. I mean, they were good moves in hindsight, but really in the moment, it just kind of I just happened to be in spots that wasn't collected in the wrecks. and that's really what kind of got me it. But no matter how we get it, we always love to win. So yeah, great finish there. Super happy to win for Uprise. Chris Lilly Designs, even though he did not design this car, I threw the logos on it. Well, he made the logos. I just threw them on the car. But yeah, I don't even know if we're gonna run the 96 this season. This is just the number that I have for them. I'm probably gonna run the 82 still, but Chris just has to give me that.
Definitely some things to work out there in the background, but walk us through as a next gen driver here in this kind of you want to call it multi-class race. What was kind of the circumstances and all? What's the difference, right? Obviously, we don't do this a whole lot. Where especially on the NASCAR side of things, where we're doing multi-class racing. What was it like having to navigate not only around potentially slower cars in your own class, but those truck series drivers as well?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I didn't even really navigate any next gen traffic. The entire night. Really, the only other next gen that I was around was Connor. But yeah, I mean, it's such a crazy challenge having to deal with all the trucks on the track, because they're a bit slower. Like they're not super slow, but they're pretty slow. So it's kind of like having like a bunch of extra, like kind of damaged cars on the track. Like when you get like halfway through a long race and you got a bunch of damaged cars running around in the back. It's kind of like that. It was a bit of a challenge, but they were pretty good for the most part with us leaders. I didn't really think that they were like impeding us too much. So overall, I thought it was a fun race. It was a fun event. I don't think I'd like to do it every week, but it was a cool event. I've never really had a race quite like this before, the multi-class stuff.
I definitely agree. Something not not a weekly series type of race, but it was definitely cool to see you guys run around here trying to navigate through the connections. But once again, congratulations, James. Obviously, back to back good things happening to you as a driver here. So before I let you go, anybody you want to thank, appreciate, or shout out tonight's win here in the Clash?
Yeah, just thanks to Uprise, thanks to Crystal Designs, and also, shout out to Dubby. Use code Thirsty at checkout. We don't have it on the car right here, but that'll be coming up soon. So yeah, just a great race here. Um, and yeah, we're gonna try to carry on the energy from last season to this race to, the upcoming season for SAAC. I really hope we can top that one off the same way that we did last one. Um, so yeah, just super excited and happy to win this.
Interested to see how season 6 goes, but we wish good luck here in the rest of the season and hope to top you some more here in the HVTV booth.
Thank you.
James Thurston, your Clash winner. We'll go ahead and talk to Connor Trafari, by far the best car tonight. Unfortunately, going to come home bridesmaid here to that number 96. See if we can bring up the number 9 machine. Hey, Connor, it's Christian up here in HVTV booth. Got a copy?
What's up, man?
Well, P2 coming home bridesmaid. Obviously, James brought up in his interview. Definitely, probably the class of the field tonight. Leaned 106 of 138 laps tonight, but unfortunately got caught up in a couple of incidents that obviously out of your doing, but fortunately kind of trapped you further back than I think you wanted it to. But coming back home and coming back here, coming back to a P2 finish, just walk us through your race. Walk us through, the challenges of this race tonight.
Yeah, I messed up my qualifying lap, so that's why I started third behind Thurston. But I knew I had the pace to either give him a good fight or pass him and kind of pull away, and that's kind of what happened. I was running behind him for it wasn't too long, maybe 10 laps or so, and then I got past him, and I just kind of cleared off. The whole truck multi-class thing was actually a lot of fun at this track. It's kind of like you're got like little chicanes on the track you gotta work around, but I felt like I did a good job passing all of them. I really liked running the bottom. I feel like I don't really know how to describe it. I just kind of figured out that line whenever the officials went here about 2 weeks ago or so, and not a lot of people can replicate it to the speed that I can. I feel like it was really a good line to pass a lot of these trucks into turn 1 and 2, just because the natural line is usually up the track here. But yeah, that went well. Then we had the first caution, took tires like everyone thought, or sorry, like I thought everyone would. Got a nice little run there till about 10 to go or so, and then I figured come down the pit because I don't know, give or take 8 laps. Usually you go back green here with about 8 laps to go. I figured that'd be enough time to get through these guys and have a good chance because the fall off was roughly a second or so after those 40 laps. But I forgot about the whole they add like 4 or 5 laps because of letting the guys get their laps back and the choose cone and all that. So that really didn't help having to try to get 7 spots within 5 laps. And I mean, you saw the chaos of the last few laps. I mean, just we're all trying to get all the positions we can because they're all green white checkers. And then I think on the second green white checker, Doran kind of like self spun, or not self spun, but got really bad wheel spin, took out him and Jurg, and he bounced back and clipped me. And that really is what kind of gave Thurston the win. I had some really bad damage there on the front that just really killed my steering. But all in all, I mean, I'll take second. I'm really bummed about it because I really like this track and this car combination. But I mean, it's a good start for the season. Hopefully, we can bring back some of these good performances.
Definitely a great comeback for you after, having to battle through all that damage that you just talked about. And obviously, looking back in the season 5, obviously part of that championship 6, coming out of the Clash here P2, obviously trying to chase down your reigning champion. What's the outlook for this whole 9 team coming into season 6?
I mean, I think it's honestly overall pretty bright. I mean, looking at the schedule, I see a lot of tracks that I can circle and say I have top 5 space there, maybe space, top 5 pace there, or even winning pace. I mean, last season I feel like the first half was really good tracks for me, and then the second half, including the playoffs, it was like very nitpicking. Like I had maybe 1 or 2 tracks I felt like I was really good at, and then all the other ones I didn't feel like I had the best pace. So I'm really happy with the schedule for this season. I think I have a lot of pace in some of these tracks, and I think I have a good chance at I don't know, going for a second championship.
Well, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what you and this whole 9 team can do for season 6 as, come home P2, a good momentum swing going into Daytona next week. But we thank you for your time up here in the HVTV booth. Connor, before we let you go, anybody you want to thank, appreciate, or shout out for tonight's run?
Yeah, big shout out to my teammates on Uprise, James Thurston for the win, of course, and AJ Heyer. I don't know what happened to him. I wasn't really paying attention to the trucks, but I know he was leading for a while there. He was having a good run for sure. Big shout out to all the admins who put this league on. Cody with an amazing idea of doing a multi-class race here. It was a lot of fun. Big shout out to my sponsor, Lot 9 Brewing. They've been on my car since I think I've joined this league, which was 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago. So big shout out to them. And a big shout out to all the people watching me back home. I know my mom and dad are probably watching this right now, cheering me on. So big shout out to them. And of course, thank you for the broadcast.
Well, we definitely appreciate the kind words up here in the booth. And we'll send you on your way and wish you good luck here into, the start of the season here from the high banks of Daytona.
Appreciate it.
Connor Trafari comes home. I do see Alexander Schumacher. I don't really want to say no to an interview for him. I was initially going to do 2 and 2, your top 2 for next gen, top 2 for trucks. I don't see Amir. I don't see Dimitri in the VC, so I guess we will take Shumi here for our 3rd place here in the next gen series. Hey Shumi, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, obviously, what an eventful race for you. Obviously, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it started towards the back of the field. It started P27 alongside, a lot of those trucks tonight. And obviously, a different, probably a story for you having to drive your way through the field here. Obviously, a lot of carnage there those last 10 laps to get that track position back and get you a good, podium finish here in the Clash. But walk us through your race tonight. Walk us through the chaotic race that you had to get through to get up here to this podium.
I botched qualifying completely, missed it. Should have nailed my laps, but instead I completely missed it there. Didn't really have pace early. Was just kind of finding my speed. I think I was scrubbing my tires, but also it's really hard to pass here. I got lucky with some strategy, took 4. With the way the Clash is being run, they didn't want to penalize us for pitting, so I was able to get my laps back. And then just coming to the end, I was just kind of slicing my way through the field, I guess, just one spot at a time. Guys were getting in trouble, making mistakes, wrecking into each other, and I was just picking up the pieces. And then especially at the end there, just getting lucky, avoiding. I didn't really avoid the first wreck, but I had a little bit of damage, so I managed from that. And then the second one on the backstretch, I got lucky, pulled low, had him spin my outside, so that was a very lucky moment there. Could have been caught up on the outside or somewhere where I couldn't move. And then I try to give Connor my best at least. I wanted to, I wanted him to at least give Thurston his best run as well. But don't want to do anything stupid to get suspended or penalized before the season even starts. We all want to win, but we all want to race each other the best way we can. So it's was a great race. I enjoyed this. My first time ever doing something like this, and I thought it was a great dynamic. Thought it taught a lot of patience, and uh, just if you've ran IMSA before, you kind of know what to expect. The whole just kind of waiting on slower traffic before you start heading through. We see it on Sundays as well with professionals, so it's really fun to see a new dynamic with the oval cars. Hope we do this again sometime soon. But yeah, it was a great race. Definitely wasn't the fastest out there. I definitely don't think I was the most talented, but definitely was one of the most consistent. I think that's what matters at the end. So hopefully we can keep riding this momentum onto the start of the season and do something we haven't done in a long time in SAAC. And I think that start off with a good start to the season so we don't start in a hole. So just 1 week at a time, one race at a time, and just hopefully it's just another blue collar day.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Shumi. But 68, good momentum going into Daytona. So looking forward to seeing what you can do to start off this season here in season 6. But we appreciate your time up in the booth. Before we let you go, what do you want to thank, shout out, appreciate for tonight's run here from North Wilkesboro?
Yeah, just shout out to the SAAC guys, Cody and Andretti, Ollie and Amir, all of them for and everyone else who I didn't list. But shout out to the SAAC guys for putting on another great season. Excited, looking forward to it. Shout out to you guys for the broadcast. Looking forward to rewatching it. You guys do a great job as always. High, top notch quality stuff. Shout out to my parents. I hope they're doing well. Not sure if they'll be able to catch us on a replay, but if they do, hope they're doing well. Let's see. Shout out to Eric Scooble. Please don't leave Detroit, but you're probably gonna. Otherwise, that'd be it.
We appreciate it. Huey's time up here in the booth. Obviously, still having some microphone lanes here, but we'll go ahead and I think we only have one truck guy who decided to come down and let us interview him tonight. So we'll go ahead and try to grab Quincy Strawhacker before we call the night here from North Wilkesboro. Hey Quincy, is Christian up here in the HVT booth? Got a copy?
Yes, I do. What's up?
Well, obviously, kind of the lone truck guy who came down to get an interview tonight here out of your top two. But obviously, I wanted to talk to some of you truck guys. Obviously, a little bit of a different dynamic here between the truck guys and the cup guys, who were obviously, obviously came home a little bit quicker than you guys tonight. But obviously, coming home P2 in the class here for the SAAC Cup, the truck series, is obviously Zaskar and SAAC's, coming together for a combined truck series. Like, interesting to see how that goes about. But walk us through race tonight and walk us through the dynamics of, this new multi-class racing that we don't really get to see a whole lot here on the oval side of things.
Yeah, I seen a multi-class NASCAR race. It was actually pretty fun and, of course, different from everything else. So I kind of hope we, do this again in the future, maybe on road courses, because, we brought up the idea was brought up in the driver voice chat, and so it's like, huh, that's not such a bad idea for road courses. So hopefully for road courses, we get some multi-class racing in. But overall, that was a lot of fun. But me personally, I didn't, I wasn't really comfortable with the truck. The throttle was a bit sketchy. I guess it's just because it's North Wilkesboro, and I kind of lost the win on the restart because I was babying the throttle a little bit and lost it to Dimitri, and he won the race. So, bit unfortunate with that. But yeah, I kind of hope we do this multi-class racing again. So it's pretty fun. And North Wilkesboro is it's a pretty good track for it as well.
I definitely agree. It was definitely fun, at least up here in the booth, to see, the dynamics of the cup cars catching you guys and having to manage you guys, and you guys having to manage the cup cars because, it seemed like when the cup guys got to you, it kind of like compressed them together and forced them to, race a little bit harder to get away from each other. Versus you guys, it was kind of trying to manage them and get them by in a timely manner to, not lose a ton of time letting these cup guys by. So walk us through just that aspect of the race of just trying to manage how you let people by and continue to be a great.
Yeah, really in multi-class racing, it's the faster car that's responsible for passing the slower car cleanly. But we also the truck guys we also have some of a responsibility. We also have to keep it clean and give them some space as well. What I noticed is that when the Cup guys were passing us, they were always taking the bomb, and because they can take the corners more aggressively than we can. So the truck guys, we were mostly on the top and the second lane. There was really for me, there was really like one like example where I was on the bottom and the Cup guy was passing me on the top. But really, for like 9%, 95% of the race, we were just giving the Cup guys the bomb, and honestly, I feel like it was pretty easy going for us managing the Cup guys, and I think the Cup guys managing the truck guys as well. Shame we didn't get as much green flag racing as I kind of hoped. It began to get a bit of a wreck fest towards the end, but it is what it is. It's the Clash, so
I couldn't have said it better myself. Obviously, it's a clash. You expect, some things to happen that you don't expect to happen in the actual series. Obviously, you're not going to see outside of maybe these road courses that you guys are talking about. These two cars on the same track together. So it's definitely interesting to see you guys. Put the laps down and continue to figure out what was the best effort to get you guys to the front. But you still come home P2. Obviously, you talked about not the best restart. So a good result for you and this whole 49 team. And obviously coming into the season going to be really exciting. So for just the SAAC side of things with the merger and all that. But Quincy, we appreciate your time up here in HVTV booth. But before we let you go, anybody you want to thank, appreciate a shout out for a P2 finish tonight here in the truck class.
well, none of my teammates were in the truck race tonight, but they were all in the Cup cars. So shout out to them. Shout out to Chris Downey, Connor Zola, and Austin Doran. Good job in the Cup race. Unfortunately, most of them got involved in that last few wrecks. I know they did well before that, but yeah, I wish I was up. I wish I was still in the Cup series, but unfortunately, I got to stay in the truck series for a while. But yeah, good race overall.
We wish you good luck here in the truck series as you get prepared for week 1, I believe, from Daytona. And yeah, we appreciate your time and look forward to seeing what you can do here in the trucks.
Yeah, thank you.
Quincy Strawhacker, he comes on P2. Obviously, it's not going to show correctly here because our things aren't really made for that class. Obviously, we're more of a NASCAR league, and obviously, we don't have the ticker kind of set up properly for like a multi-class thing. We got called up literally the day of to come and broadcast the clash here for the SAAC clash here for season 6. But what a fun and exciting, idea that got sprung up. Multi-class, they combine both trucks and next-gen cars here to put on the track and go for it, right? That's super cool to see, and I'm excited to see, whether we're up here in the booth or as a spectator down here in the grandstands, just like everybody else here watching what will happen here, not only in the Cup Series, but also in the Truck Series here for season 6, at least for Cup. But I think it's time to call it a night here from the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway here for the SAAC clash here, once again from North Wilkesboro. Once again, my name is Christian Delgado with High Velocity TV, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race here for the SAAC Season 6 Clash. Once again, if you're new to the channel, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to High Velocity TV, we'd really appreciate it. Trying to grow this channel out, trying to make the best we can out of a little team of group of guys that we can here. If you guys are watching over at twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13, we'd appreciate the follow over there. But once again, if you wouldn't mind dropping a like on the broadcast and sharing it with friends and family, obviously a really unique a race that we had tonight here from North Wilkesboro. But once again, we hope everybody has a good rest of your Thursday night. We look forward tomorrow to the ARC Pro Racing Series as they go to Homestead Miami Speedway for week 2. See how that goes, and then obviously the ISNF Cup Series heads to Iowa, I believe, for their week 2 start as well. So once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator. We hope everybody has a great